We can add this constraint when we create a table or after. Let's create a new table. Create table. Let's create a table of products. What products do we offer? We'll list the columns. Let's add a product ID. The data type will be int. Product name. The data type will be varchar, maybe 25 characters. Then a price. Price. The data type will be decimal. Our price will have a max size of 4 digits and a precision of 2 decimal places. To add the unique constraint, select a column. After the data type, add the keyword unique. And that's all you have to do. With this keyword unique, we can't insert any product names that are the same. They all have to be, well, unique. Let's create this table. Let's say that you forget the unique keyword. Then you create the table. What you could do instead is type alter table, the name of the table, products, which we just created, add constraint, unique, the name of the column within parentheses, product name. If you forget to add a unique constraint to a column after you already create the table, this is what you can write. However, when I run this, I do have a warning. I already have a unique constraint on that column. But yeah, that's how you would add a unique constraint to a column in a table you have already created. Let's select our table. Select all from products. We have a product ID column, product name, and a price. Let's insert all of our values. Insert into the name of our table, which is products, values. We'll insert maybe 4 rows. We'll need a product ID, name, then a price. For a product name, we have a hamburger, and the product ID, I'm just making up a number, is 100. The name is hamburger. The price will be $3.99. Fries will be our next item. Then we have fries. The price will be $1.89. 102 will be soda. The price is $1 even. 103 will be ice cream. The price will be $1.49. And I will, let me change the price to look at must and all the values in the column. Create table, products, then price. That is a value. I'm not going to statement, but that's not null. This is a constraint. Now I've already created this table, so I'm not going to execute the statement, but that's how you would create a table that has the not null constraint. After the column name, you just type not null. To add the not null constraint to a table that already exists, you would instead type alter table, the name of the table, modify the name of the column, the data type of the column, in this case decimal, 4,2, then not null. It's a little bit different than the unique constraint in the last topic, so let's execute the name statement. But that's how you would create a table that has the not null constraint. After instead, type the name of the column, the data type of the products table, select from products. Let's add a new item to the menu, and we will test that not null constraint. Insert into products, values. We have 104. Product ID 104 will be, how about a cookie? I'm not going to set a price. I will say null for the price. Maybe I'm not decided on what the price is yet. After executing the statement, well, we have an error. Column price cannot be null. Since we set that not null constraint on the product price, we can't enter a null value. We could set this to be 0. That's acceptable, but it can't be null. So yeah, everybody, that's the not null constraint. It's a useful constraint to verify input. If there's any column that you don't want to have any null values, just add that constraint. And yeah, that is the not null constraint in MySQL. Hey everybody, in this topic, I'm going to explain the check constraint. The check constraint is used to limit what values can be placed in a column. For example, I live in the United States. Depending on which state you live in, there is a minimum hourly wage that employers have to pay. In this example, let's set an hourly pay to our employees table. Every employee needs to be paid at least the minimum wage in that region. And we can do that with the check constraint. We have our table of employees. If I were to recreate this table, it would look like this. I think that was pretty close. To add a check to a column, at the end of our table, this is what we would write. check. Then within parentheses, what sort of condition do we want? Let's check to see if our hourly pay column is greater than or equal to maybe $10 per hour. That will be the minimum wage in this region. This would work if we were to create this table. However, it's typically a good idea to give your check a name. Just in case you need to drop it later, you can easily identify it. So precede check with constraint, then a constraint name. What about CHK, meaning check underscore hourly pay? This check will be known as check hourly pay, so we can identify it. Then we can drop it or make any changes to it if we need to. I do already have an employees table, so I'm not going to execute this statement. But to add a check constraint to a table, you would just add a row like this to the bottom. If you instead need to add a check constraint to a table that already exists, this would be the syntax. Alter table, the name of the table, add constraint, then we need a unique name for this constraint, check hourly pay, that's fine. Then the check within parentheses, hourly pay is greater than or equal to $10 per hour. Okay, let's run this. Yeah, that appears to have worked. $10 per hour. Okay, let's run this. Yeah, that appears to have worked. I'm going to select all from employees. Let's take a look at our table. Then we will attempt to add a new employee. Insert into employees, values. We need an employee ID, first name, last name, hourly pay, then a hire date. Employee ID will be 6. First name, Sheldon. Plankton. For hourly pay, let's attempt to pay Plankton maybe $5 per hour. Then a hire date, 2023-01-07. Let's see if that check constraint kicks in. We're paying Plankton under $10 per hour. Yeah, it doesn't appear that we can do so. Check constraint, check hourly pay is violated. Now let's pay Plankton $10 per hour. Yeah, that worked just fine. If you need to delete a check, you would type alter table, the name of the table, just fine. If you need to is violated. Now let's per hour. Yeah, it doesn't appear that we can do so. Check constraint, check hourly pay is violated. Now let's pay Plankton $10 per hour. Yeah, that worked just fine. If you need to delete a check, you would pay Plankton. Yeah, it doesn't appear that we can do so. See if that check constraint, check hourly pay is violated. Now you would type alter table, the name of the table, drop check, then the name that you gave that check. In my case, it was check hourly pay. And that check has been dropped. Yeah, everybody, that is the check constraint. It's used to limit what values can be placed in a column. It's another useful method for checking input. And that is the check constraint in MySQL.